This tutorial is for first grade Module 2, Lesson 2. In this lesson we're going to add three numbers together, but we're going to look for numbers that make 10. That will make it easier for us to add the numbers. The first problem has been started for us. It says circle the numbers that make 10, fill in the 10 frame to match. If we look at our equation off to the left here, I'm adding 7 plus 3 plus 4. We've circled 7 plus 3 because those two numbers together make 10. 7 plus 3 make 10. Now I just have to add in the last number, my 4. If I look over on my 10 frame, I'm showing this problem. We started by filling in our 7 discs, and then we added 3 discs to that 10 frame, and that made our 10. We still have to add in our 4, so we drew our 4 discs on another 10 frame. Together, I'm adding the 10 in the first frame to the 4 in the second frame for a total of 14 discs. Here's another example. This time I'm adding 9 plus 1 plus 4. I'm going to combine the two numbers that would equal 10. Well, 9 plus 1 equals 10. So in the bottom section I will show that 10 is the same thing as 9 plus 1, so I combine those, and then I'm going to add the 4 to get my final answer. We're going to show that final answer on the 10 frame. So I'll start by showing my 9 discs for my first number. So there's the 9, so I've drawn that number. Now I need to draw the 1 disc and show that it fills in that 10 frame to give me 10. And I've drawn that number. Now I have to draw in my 4 discs. So there's my 4. So the picture is showing 10 plus 4 gives us a total of 14. In the next example, I'm adding 5 plus 6 plus 5. So I'm going to look for the two numbers that would give me a total of 10. That means I can combine my 5 and my 5 because 5 plus 5 gives me 10. Now I still need to add in the 6. So 5 plus 5 plus 6. To show that on my 10 frame, I'll show my first 5. That fills up the top row. Then I'll show my second group of 5. And that filled up the second row. So there's my 10. And now I still have to show the 6. So I have 6 on my second frame. Altogether, I'm adding the 10 from the top frame to the 6 on the bottom frame, and that gives me a total of 16. In problem 3, we're adding the numbers 4 plus 3 plus 7. So I'm going to combine my 3 and my 7 to make 10. 3 plus 7 equals 10, and I know I have to add the 4. So I'll show my 3 discs in the 10 frame, and I'll combine that with the 7 discs. So we've drawn the 3 and the 7. I still have to draw the 4, so I'll put that in the next 10 frame. I have 10 here and 4 in the bottom frame. 10 plus 4 is 14. That means 3 plus 7 plus 4 is 14. In the next question, I'm going to add 2 plus 7 plus 8. Well, let's say I don't know for sure which of these numbers would combine to make 10. I can start by drawing my 2 on my 10 frame. So there's my 2 discs. Now I can just look at the empty spots, and I see that there are 8 empty spots, 5 on the bottom row, 3 on the top. That tells me that if I combine my 2 and my 8, I will have 10. And then all I have to do is add in the 7. So I've drawn the 2 on the frame. I'll draw the 8 that fill up that 10 frame. So I have 10 on top, and now I just have to include the 7. Do that on the bottom frame. There's my 7. 10 plus 7 is 17. So 2 plus 8 plus 7 is also 17. The last section is basically asking us to do the same thing, but we're not using the 10 frame. So when I added 9 plus 1 plus 5, I combined the 9 and the 1 to make 10. Well, 10 plus 5 is 15. And in the last problem, I have 8 plus 2 plus 4. I can combine the 8 and the 2 to make 10, and then I'll add the 4 to that. 10 plus 4 is 14. So you can see how when we find those groups that make 10, it makes it easier to add the three numbers together.